Hey, listeners.
Hey, listeners.
Hey.
Listeners.
Welcome to another episode of the Queendom State of Mind, where we have conversations that's really, really just good conversations. They're thought-provoking. They're inspiring, right?
Definitely.
Yes.
But we want to be able to have conversations that make you think really about things. And so today is no different than any other day. We're going to be talking about why we settling and to really, really stop settling. You know, that's in Tawanda's words, that's a real thing.
It
Okay.
is.
It's a real thing, no, but we really should not be settling for anything. And we want to talk about, like, why do we settle? Why do we feel like we have to just accept whatever and not be able to just push the envelope or move forward or reach higher? Like, why do we do those things? So let's just have a candid conversation about that. When you think about settling, like, what are you thinking when you think, like, okay, yeah, I have been settling for this, or I just don't settle, period? Like, what are your thoughts?
I think my thoughts are when you're settling, you're comfortable. Although you think you want more, you're comfortable with the way it is, and you're fearful of trying to make the change.
Well, I'll say sometimes people don't realize that they're settling because this is just the norm. This is what they've seen. This is what they've grown up, and done all their lives. Like, they don't even realize that they're settling. Like, this is normal. How a man treats you, or being talked to a certain kind of way. It's like, what? Nothing's wrong with this. You know what I'm saying? This is just how we talk to one another. And no, sis, that's not how you're supposed to be talked to. That's not how, you should be living your life. And I think that we have to be more aware and conscious of what is standard, what as queens should be achieving or receiving. I don't receive that type of behavior, or I don't receive that. Like, when you think about dating, like, you got to have some standards.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
can't just be dating anybody. And did y'all, I don't know if y'all seen it, but I saw the Married to Medicine, like, season finale.
I started
or
watching
something,
that, yes.
the reunion. And Phaedra was saying that she was dating somebody, one of the husbands or whatever, and she was telling him, like, her expenses is $4,000 a month.
Yeah, I saw that.
She
I saw
told
that.
him early.
Yeah.
Sis was not settling.
No.
Like, she knew her worth. You know what I'm saying? And she wasn't settling, and that's why they never got together, because he basically couldn't afford her. That's just one instance of not settling.
Is that still considered settle? Is that considered settling, or is it more so that's just her saying what she expected, right? And if he didn't do that, does that mean that she's like, okay, well, I'm not settling? But can they grow to that?
Well, the thing is, she was saying, like, her life and expenses is this much. And she didn't want to be with somebody that couldn't provide that. Because y'all know that we've all dated some, I'm about to say some Negro.
Right. Okay.
And he ain't had no money.
Yeah.
Like, what is you even doing with him? Why did you even give him a chance? You know what I'm saying? Because we settled.
Settle.
Yeah. You mentioned standards, right? So, in thinking about standards, in order to know if you're actually settling, you have to actually have a standard that you're measuring things by. So, if you decide that, okay, my standards is here, but the person doesn't meet my standards at here, and they only meet my standards here, then that means that I'm settling, so I'm going to come down here and I'm going to settle at this particular point, whereas though that's not really where I want to be. So in order for you to figure out if you are actually settling, you first have to have some standards.
Right.
Period.
So I think that's at the beginning and at the core of why we settle, don't settle. And a lot of it has a lot to do with how we look at ourselves. How we feel about ourselves, the things that we tell ourselves, our value, our self-worth.
Right.
All of those things are a part of it.
Absolutely. And a lot of us don't know our self-worth, and we talked about this in the
Unfortunately.
previous season. Y'all need to check out our season 2.
That's right.
Just self-criticism and
Mhm.
not really knowing our value and not knowing who God has called us to be. God created us beautifully and wonderfully, and we don't realize our worth, and we will settle. God called us and we have a purpose. What's your purpose? I know my purpose is not just to be scheduling flights and you know what I'm saying, and try, booking flights and creating meetings. Like I'm so much more than that.
Right.
But I settled for a while doing that. And I'm gonna say settling because I know God put so much in me that I'm more than just those tasks. Like I want to make an impact where I'm going. So now I'm looking for something else. I'm looking for a different role. And I said to myself, like, I'm fine. I'm fine here now. I'm good, But now I'm like, I know I'm worth more. I know I have more to give. And I did settle. I did settle, but
That doesn't necessarily, I don't agree with that, meaning that you settled. I feel like you mentioned that you grew to that point. It wasn't just necessarily like a settle. Could it have just been that was the season that you were in at that particular moment and you've outgrown that? And now you're at the point where it's like, okay, if I stay here, then I'm settling.
Right, then you're settling.
Then you're
Right.
settling. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? So I don't feel like you being there was settling. It was just, that was just where you are. That was the point in your life, and you outgrow that. You outgrew that, and you knew enough to know, okay, yeah, I can't stay here.
And so when I grew and outgrew that position, I stayed.
You stayed longer.
Yes.
So then that is
So I
settling.
did grow, and I did say, like, this ain't it. I
Right.
know that God's created me, but I stayed. And that was the settling part. It was like that was a too long period where I didn't start networking and looking for things, but now I am. I'm like, that's it. Like, and it really took being so inconvenienced and having so much stress at my job now to say, like, this
Right.
is
This
it.
is it. Right.
Like, this is it. Like God allowed it to get to that place. So I'm like, no, I gotta go now. Like, I can't keep settling for this. I've outgrown this, and I knew it, and I've just been staying there. It's the staying part that I'm talking about because I did at one point like my job.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Now it's a different story.
You settling for something?
Not really.
Yeah,
I'm prepared to retire, so I'm not settling for anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I have been in that stage in my life where I've settled in a relationship because I felt like I think I picked the best out of the worst, as my grandmother would say. And she used to have that saying, you pick the best out of the worst, and you keep it moving. And one day I realized that the best out of the worst is not for me. I want more. So I think we've all settled for things. And even in jobs that I had, I've settled where I say, I don't think I can do anything else. I don't want to go to school to further my, education and go in another direction in my career. But it comes a time where you say to yourself, if you want more, then you just don't settle.
We do. We outgrow things,
Right.
I feel like if we allow God to really, really move in our life, He will show us places that He would have us to go. He will show us things that He has us to do, to where as though we don't ever have to feel like we're at the point where we are settling, but we're moving lockstep with where He has us to be. Like, I feel like that's the season of my life that I'm in. I'm in a season to where as though I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. And I don't want to be anything that God did not say for me. I want to be able to hear clearly. I want to be able to speak clearly. I want to be able to know. So if He tells us that our steps are ordered, I want to walk into those steps. I want to walk in alignment with where He has for me. So that doesn't mean that I will be settling for this or settling for that, because you grow to understand your worth.
Right.
You grow to understand.
That's the
okay,
key. Mm-hmm.
yeah, you have to grow to that point. And so, how do you stop settling? How do you grow and get to that particular point? You really have to honestly, you have to spend time. I'm gonna say for me, and for everybody, forget it. Not for everybody. Okay, you got to spend time with God. Right. Honestly, to be able to know exactly who you are, ask questions like, God, why did you make me? Like, what do you want me to do? Who do you want me to be? For so long, I have orchestrated my entire life. And I see some things and I'm like, Tawanda, that was your hand on that. You did that. You settled for that. You went for that. God didn't tell you to do that. Right. And then you get mad when it don't work out the way that you thought that it should work out. But if you, every single day, what I do now is I am learning to say, okay, God, I need for you to order my steps. Where do you want me to go today? What do you want me to say? Open up my ears so that I can hear. That's the biggest part. Hear the things that I need to hear. You know, it tells us to be quick to hear and slow to speak. And because when you quick to hear, you will really hear what people are saying. And so you don't always have to just be so quick to speak and to respond to a lot of things. You don't really have to do that if you allow God to just really, really order you. So you don't have to feel like, oh, okay, I'm settling for this or I'm settling for that. It's like, nope, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I had to grow to that particular point. I had to grow there.
I settled a lot in friendships. That's a big one. I need an air horn on that.
Okay.
I settled a lot in friendships. I feel like even though a lot of my friendships weren't reciprocated in the way that I gave, I just was like, oh, what happened? Good?
Yeah.
We might be having technical difficulties.
Right.
I don't even know.
No, we're fine.
We're good.
We're fine.
Dang, don't make me lose my thought.
Yeah, because I'm interested. Let's go.
So I thought that me saying, I'm going to try to lead the way. I'm going to try to be an example on this specific thing because I know my friend is growing in this area. And you know what that did? It made me like, oh, I'm making a change, you know? And it's really, no, I'm settling. I'm settling for somebody that is not making any efforts in this specific way, and they're not giving the same effort in this friendship.
Wow.
And that's important to evaluate your friendships, and that's on my vision board, my vision plan, to evaluate each relationship that I have and be okay if the relationship has changed. You know, people may not have the same purpose in your life.
Right.
And don't settle. Yes, you have to be wise because you don't want to be like, oh, just nicks people off. You know, you do want to be that sharpening thing, you know, that sharpening iron. You do want to give grace when needed and bounce off of each other. But when you see time after time that person is not giving what you're giving, stop settling.
Right. So you mean settling by staying in the keeping the relationship
by
going?
Accepting the lack of effort.
Okay.
The lack of being a good friend, a lack of support
Okay.
or loyalty. You know, I'm thinking like, oh, well, they'll change or they'll see, you know. You know, if they're not changing, then you're just settling just to have a friend. You're just settling like, oh, that's fine. They don't have to say happy birthday or they don't have to do this. They don't have to do that. But I'm doing all of that. It's like, it has to be a balance and mutual, because other than that, you're just settling for somebody that doesn't even care for you the same way.
That's good. Yeah, that, I guess when you think about it like that, and also saying that, you also have to think about people's capacity.
Right.
You know, sometimes people may not have the same capacity that you have, and they may not be able to give it to you the way that you give it, but are they still useful in your life for other things? Is there still a purpose for them being in your life? They may not match your match your enthusiasm or match your energy or any of those types of things. But they may serve another purpose in your life, you know, sometimes. Like, so it just, for me, it just all depends. Like, I don't really have a lot of friends, so I know a lot of people, but I don't really have a lot of friends where I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, my friend is my friend. I don't have that or whatever. But I do know that everybody is not going to be to me what I am to them.
True. This is true.
And so I recognize that. And so I have friends, or I have people in my life that serve different purposes. You know, so there are people that I'll call for this, but I'm not calling you for that. You know, so I'm not expecting them to be this or that. So it's not a matter of, okay, well, I'm not settling for them as a friend in that regards. It's just that I know that they don't have the capacity to be able to fulfill whatever it is that I'm thinking that they should. So I've just learned sometimes, honestly, and I am learning to meet people where they are. And not only meet people where they are, to give them grace, and then also to not use the word friend so loosely.
Oh, yes.
Because sometimes I think we don't really know what to say. We're like, oh, yeah, that's my friend. I mean, but is she really?
Right.
You know?
Right.
So
that's
it's
another whole topic,
yes.
friend.
So it's like, you know, is she, but is she really? You know?
Yes,
So,
yes.
you know, so that's a thing too. And so when we start talking about settling in life, it goes with growth. With the more you grow and the more you learn and the more you know, you create those standards like Brooke was talking about, so you can be able to say, okay, this is what I want out of my life. This is what I don't want out of my life. And I probably used to want that, but now I don't want that anymore. And guess what? It's okay. It's okay.
And I think the want part is the key factor. You know what I mean? Because if you want something and you're not really willing to work towards getting it, like a goal or whatever, or the relationship, then it is settling as far as I'm concerned. It's like you're just staying in that one place. You know you want more, but you don't want to work towards getting it. To me, that is more or less settling.
And then the part about evaluating relationships, you know, so evaluating, like, you know, that, like you were saying, that person, I know she's not going, I'm not going to call her for that or not. Just evaluating those relationships and adjusting accordingly. You know, it's
right.
like,
That's a better, yeah, adjusting accordingly.
Adjusting accordingly to these relationships, because it can't be so lopsided. Like, and that's basically what I was saying. Like, it ain't going to be lopsided anymore. You know, excuse me. We only get this one life on this earth right now. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be lopsided, whether it's your family and friends. And something that a girlfriend told me, like, I was talking to her, like, you know, I do feel like my family is my ministry, of course. You know, our families are our ministry, and that God, you know, he wants me to keep my family together, you know, and that's always been my thing. You know, I've been Auntie Brooke since I've been 15.
Wow.
And, but did God put this mantle on my shoulders? And she said, you know, that's a false burden. False burden. Like, who said that I have to keep my family together? And it really takes effort for everybody, has to play a part in that.
That's right.
You know, so just taking off certain mindsets of how you're supposed to be dealing with your family. You don't have to just settle for them to treat you any kind of way, you know. Yes, you extend grace. Yes, you know, you work things out, you know, but to an extent, you know, you still have to protect your peace and your space, and protect yourself ultimately.
I'm a pull this up on my phone. I want to find it really quickly, because one of the things that that I've been doing this week. So on, what was it, on Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. So, well, it started really Monday night. Something was going on in my house, and I was prompted to to go on a fast without y'all being in my business, right?
Okay.
But
Right.
I was prompted to go on a 3-day fast, right? And so as I was praying about what I was praying about, and I came across this scripture, right? And so it's in 1 Corinthians 13:4-7. And it says, love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. And I had been meditating on this verse, and when I first read it, and I was just like, you know how you read certain verses and it's like you've heard these verses before, but then when you hear it again and it jumps out at you, and I was just like, wait. And these are the parts that honestly stood out. And as I'm thinking, and we're having this conversation about settling and friendship, and it all really honestly boils down to love, whether it's either love for yourself or love for others, right? And so it made me start to think. It said love is patient and kind. So every time I'm always keep trying to, these past couple of days, trying to remember to lead with love. Love is patient, love is kind. And the other parts that stood out to me was that it is not irritable or resentful. I was just like, wait, what?
Wow. Yeah.
I was like, that's in there? Because you know, we always hear about love is patient, love is kind.
Right, yeah.
Right?
But I was like,
That's a song even.
This is what I'm saying. I was like, it is not irritable or resentful. I was like, wait a second. And then it says that love bears all things. Love believes all things, hopes all things. And then this is the part that got me, y'all. Endures all things. I was like, why you put endure? Because endure is just like, you are like, there's a lot that you have to put up with and still be able to love being patient and kind.
True.
And so it's kind of like leading with that. So how does that tie into this whole we're settling, right? Just thinking about how we love ourselves, how we love others, the things that we settle for, the things that we don't settle for, what we'll put up with, what we won't put up with. But in all of that, we still need to be able to be patient. We still need to be kind. And I was just like, in some things we don't always be so irritable.
Right.
Don't be resentful. We have to be able to endure. And so that doesn't necessarily mean that everything is going to just be good.
True.
There are some things that we're going to have to grow through in this process. So that was just on my heart in that moment to just be able to share that because when I read it, those things just stuck loud in me. So sometimes when I find myself maybe not being so patient or not being so kind, that just is sticking in my, like, okay, no, don't be irritable. Like, it's okay. Just kind of like take a moment, relax your soul, and it's going to be okay because love, it endures. And so I'm enduring, even though I'm not settling, but I'm recognizing what God says and who he calls me to be, and to just do that.
It takes wisdom. Are you settling or are you giving grace? Are you settling or are you enduring? Are you settling or are you being patient? Come on, that's a word.
Right.
That is a word.
That is a word.
Yeah.
I am glad you brought those scriptures up. Are you settling or are you hoping? Because it says love hopes.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. Love
believes. Like I'm hoping you're going to do the right
That's right.
thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm hoping.
Right. Okay.
You know.
But we can't be so quick to give up, and I think that was part of the
That
message
is the
too,
major,
because sometimes we always so quick to just be like, all right, well, you know what, I'm done. Like I'm not settling for this. Like I know who I am. yeah, you could very well know who you are, and you can very well, yes, let's not settle. But at the same time, let's be patient. Let's be kind. Let's not be irritable. Let's not be resentful. Love hopes. You know what I'm saying? Let's believe, but we also have to be able to endure. And if God didn't say that it's done, then it's not done. Like, we can't always just be so quick to just want to put the hammer down on people.
Right.
It's like, no, no, come on, because we didn't get this way except for the fact that God gave us grace.
That's right.
To be able to be this way, to be able to grow this way.
Right.
And so we have to be able to extend that same grace to other people.
Definitely. That was so good.
Yeah. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you.
So April, because we know this is the part that we be waiting for, y'all.
Yes.
So as we segue away from, the settling part of it, we always like to leave
Not
you guys
really,
with.
because I had to settle and not go to the mall this weekend.
I don't know what we're going to do with her.
Because I'm on a strict budget, y'all.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I went to the Meadowlands flea market this weekend, and I just want to show you guys some goodies. I think the most that I spent for any one item was like $5.
Okay.
Okay, and some of them, well, one or two things I took the tags off, but I was so proud of myself. I said, now you got to really watch yourself, because I'm getting ready to go away. Didn't want to overspend. And my girlfriend Stacy, shout out to Stacy, invited me to go to the Meadowlands flea market, and these are the little things that I brought back. This was...
It's cute.
Okay.
I got it for my son.
Like
Okay.
$4.
I'm like, can he swim?
No, but it was $4. I said, okay, if he doesn't want it,
He needs to hope. It's to give him hope.
Actually, yeah, he can swim. He can swim.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that was cute. I was like,
That is cute, though.
isn't that cute?
Yeah,
Especially when it gets cold after the beach.
Right.
Yeah,
That's cute.
But
Oh, you can wear it now.
But why come? Okay, like,
Okay.
because it was $4.
Because it was $4.
Just because it's part of me first was just like, okay, you know what? Hey, I want to go. Why I go to the free? But I'm so glad because you end up just buying stuff that's just like.
Absolutely.
You can't
Yeah,
leave
but you
that. It was $4.
It's $4. Okay.
Absolutely. That's what happens when I'm on Shein.
Well, you
Yeah,
ready for the $3 item that I got
Lord
for myself? $3.
That's cute.
Okay.
That is cute.
I mean,
Taking it on my trip.
it's warm.
Yeah,
Yes,
it is.
yes.
It's warm.
$3, you can't beat that.
I mean, you can't beat that for $3.
Yeah.
Now, so wait, was it a bunch of like random people that set up tables and they was just selling their own stuff?
Hardware, everything. I bought myself a pizza maker for like $10.
Like, do you make pizza?
Out of the
I
box.
didn't know you made
I will be at
pizza.
my job because we're gonna have pizza night.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
It's not leather, but I thought it was cute.
It looks like it. You could-
It's cute.
End up taking this to London with
Oh,
me.
you
Okay,
gotta
no,
try
that is
that.
$5, right?
Okay, $5.
Yeah, with some jeans or
Okay,
something
now
brown,
that's cute.
Right?
Yeah, that's
That
cute.
is mad cute.
right?
I
Okay.
approve. I approve. Mm-hmm.
And the last item was also $5.
I feel like that flea market
Brand
ain't had
new.
my
It was
size.
in plastic, and I
That flea market ain't had my big girl
okay, and I
size.
can use it for next winter.
Okay, it's got you a whole
$5.
coat.
Yep.
It's still
$5.
cold. It's still 40 degrees.
I could have used it
I was
today.
about to say, you could have
with
wore
the
that
hood.
today.
With the hood,
period.
right?
Yeah, because Cynthia
Oh,
came in
that's
here with her
cute.
hood.
Yeah,
Like,
right?
what?
Cynthia
Okay.
was like, hello. Look, she
So,
Yeah, hold on.
basically,
You know you
I got
did,
out of
Cynthia.
here, y'all, spending less than $20.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
And-
I was like,
April.
okay, I can't go to the mall, but I'm on a budget.
yeah.
So the Meadowlands, I believe it's Saturday and Sunday, and it's from like 10 to 4.
It doesn't matter. I'm not even going.
Wait.
No, because
I missed
I
all the
enjoyed
Bath and
it.
Body Works sales.
I enjoyed it.
no, I didn't get.
I
I'm
had no
still
time.
waiting for the sprays.
The
Oh yeah,
sprays.
me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
Every time they send me a little thing, I'm like, stop sending me this. This is not a spray. I don't need no mist.
Yeah,
I don't need
think
no
it's going. The
candles.
sprays are gonna be going on sale.
I don't know,
next
but y'all
month.
better keep your eyes
Yeah.
open.
Okay,
in case
yes.
I don't want
I
to miss
need to.
it,
I need
but
it
y'all
too.
better keep your eyes
April be making her ways.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
April, I had got you some last time when I
You
went.
did.
Yeah,
You
so
did.
yeah, so come on now, we got to get them sprays or whatever. But listen, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Because I do know, and I recognize. I'm not going to act like I don't recognize that you have a problem.
I do have a problem.
Okay,
I know she was
I
gonna
do
say
have
that.
a problem, listeners.
I'm just not like we not.
But it was
gonna-
on a budget this weekend. It was on
It
a
should
budget.
stay on
Yeah,
a
it's
budget.
got to stay
It
on a
should
budget.
stay on a budget.
Yeah, so-
and it's like, okay,
Okay.
she only spent $20.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
not mad. I'm
yes.
not mad at the $20. And you came out with, first of all, that jacket by itself could have been $20.
This jacket, that's
That
right,
jacket-
Yeah,
right.
that jacket
Yeah,
is
it's
cute,
cute,
and
right?
I know
Have
you
my
gonna
size.
wear it, and it's
Yeah,
gonna be.
I'm gonna
you
put it
gonna
on and
on
model
cute.
it for the listeners. For the listeners.
What about them bomber jackets that she got us, them silk ones?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
And I
got
was like,
yours.
this don't fit. And April was like, well, it was the largest size.
I'm bad. Sorry.
I was
like,
the
you
recipient.
need to find my size.
I know, right?
So I ended up getting two.
So
I
she got
mine
it. Yeah,
and Brooke's
Tawanda got
jacket.
it. You need to be wearing it.
Yeah, we
Look,
both do, right?
Oh
I'm
yeah, we
mad.
should be wearing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Adrian,
Yes,
I
y'all
can
gotta
give you
wear
one
'em.
maybe.
Yes.
Don't get excited. I said
Adrian
maybe.
oh yeah.
Our
Maybe,
executive
because they two different
producer.
colors.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all can't see
They
Adrian.
were
That's our
so
producer.
cute too.
Yeah, they are cute. And we put our logo on it. April,
Yes.
April, we took time.
Yes,
you know,
we
And
make
a
did.
the
saying,
logo.
it's like a saying on the back of each one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, April be having some good finds.
Yes, thank you.
I
Yeah.
lose 20 pounds, I'll fit it.
Yeah.
Give me some Ozempic.
Okay.
Oh Lord, not the Ozempic. We gotta go.
Be skinny like
Okay.
Oprah.
Yeah, everybody's on that. But listen, this was a great episode.
Yes.
You know, hopefully you guys took something away from it in regards to settling, not settling, worth, value. What does God say about that? How you gonna be living? How you gonna be loving? Right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh.
right.
Who you loving? Who you want to be
Okay,
hugging?
okay.
Hey.
Tanisha,
That-
Rhonda.
So that
You know your
Mary
ninja
is-
Honda.
Start dancing like
Okay.
Mary.
Oh yeah, you got
Oh, yeah,
right. No, but this was good. Like guys, really, I enjoy these conversations. I enjoy these episodes with us. So hopefully
Yes.
our listeners enjoy them. Hopefully you can walk away with something to be able to take on your week. You guys have any closing remarks you want to close out with?
Stop settling. You know, you are beautifully and wonderfully made by God. You know, go after things. You know, stand up for yourself. You know, have boundaries. That was another
Yeah.
thing. You know, in order to stop settling, you have to create a boundary. And that can be hard. So create your boundaries that are healthy, that are godly. And, stop settling. Queens.
Know your self-worth. That's it.
Yes.
That's good. And there you have it. The queens have spoken.
Yes.